Hello, it's me, French Ted, and we are here for the first AEW TEW from the French TED End of Year Awards. Because we are now in January 1st, 2024 in game. We will check that at the end and see what TEW have given the awards for. But first, we are doing the French Ted's Awards. We've got a bunch of categories, and what is an award show without a lovely, glamorous co-host? Yep, it's the return of Spanish Elena.
Woo!
And here she is. Say hello.
Hi.
How you been?
Great. It's very hot.
It's warm.
Very hot.
Yeah. But yeah, we are here, as you can see on the screen. We've got lovely little layout. We've got some slides and stuff for you. Got a bunch of categories, nominations, and of course, winners. So Elena will have the privilege of reading out the categories and the nominations, and I'll just chime in every now and then with the reasons for the nominations, etc., as we reveal our winners of 2023. So the categories are as follows. Elena, take it away.
Match of the year. Feud of the year. Show of the year. Biggest disappointment. Signing of the year. Most improved. Male wrestler of the year. Team of the year. Female wrestler of the year. And finally, the OMG moment of the year.
Thank you, Elena. That was lovely. This isn't the order that they show in, but these are all of the categories that we will be covering. There are 7 nominations. That's right, 7 for each category.
Such a random number.
To be honest, I think one of them I filled out first and was like, oh shit, I can't do 5 because there's these 2 I want to add. So we've got 7 for all of them. And to be honest, I probably could have done 10 for each. We've had a killer year. And we've also had a lot of disappointments too. But we will get to that. The first category, though, is Match of the Year. Elena, take it away.
Hangman Adam Page versus MJF. Battle of the Belts. 7. Roman numerals are not my thing.
No.
Daniel Garcia versus Hook in the AEW Full Gear. He's everywhere, isn't he? Hangman Adam Page versus Pac. AEW Full Gear. John Moxley versus Daniel Bryan. AEW All Out. The Golden Lovers v Lucha Brothers. AEW Winter is Coming. Hangman Adam Page v Jay White v Pac. AE Winter is Coming.
AEW Winter is Coming.
Sorry. Jay White and the Golden Lovers v Death Triangle. AEW Collision December week 2.
I really enjoy how you started saying versus and then just gave up and was like, V will do.
V will do.
They get it. So yeah, these are our matches of the year. These aren't strictly the 7 highest rated matches. These are just the matches that I believe to have either been the most impactful or really important in a storyline, things like that.
Would you like a drum roll?
Yeah, but not yet.
Tell me when.
Just going to quickly highlight some of these matches. So Hangman Adam Page versus MJF was the 3rd match between them, the final match where MJF had his last opportunity to win the belt and of course didn't. The Daniel Garcia Hook was our World Light Heavyweight Championship final, which exceeded expectations like crazily. Adam Page and Pac was the ladder match at Full Gear, which is on paper our highest rated match so far. Moxley and Bryan, I've just realised I've written Daniel Bryan instead of Bryan Danielson. Ignore that. I mean, that's a running trend, to be honest. I say Daniel Bryan all the time, and I'm not re-recording because we're too far in.
Too far.
I think the rest of the slides where Bryan is mentioned, it's Bryan Danielson. If not, soz. But that was the Iron Man match at AEW All Out. Golden Lovers and Lucha Brothers, honestly, you could have picked any of them, but I feel like Winter is Coming was the most significant because that's when the Golden Lovers finally won, even though the rematch did get a higher score. And then Hangman Page versus Jay White versus Pac. Jay White's crowning as our double champion. You know, you can't beat that. And then, of course, we've got our best TV show match, which was Jay White teaming up with the Golden Lovers and defeating Death Triangle, earning himself a slot in that main event where he won the World Heavyweight Championship. So those are our 7 nominees. Are you gonna drum roll? How?
Yeah, on the table.
Okay, don't do it too hard though.
Maybe like headphone warning.
Yeah, headphone warning.
Ready?
Yep. And the winner is
Woo!
Hangman Page versus Pac. At Full Gear, the ladder match, as mentioned, I mean, in all honesty, it was a no-brainer. This match blew me out of the water. I can still remember my reaction to it. I think I banged the table.
You did.
I think it was a 97 in game, which is the highest that we'd had by a country mile at that point. So yeah, they deserve it. Two great wrestlers. And Pac, someone I took a risk on, who was sat in the mid card when he was challenging Adam Page, and it paid off. So that is our match of the year. Also, a little bit late. As we go through, please leave comments below with your predictions, because that's always fun. Or who you if you think I'm wrong, tell me.
Tell him.
Yeah, put it down below.
I do.
You probably do. The next category is Feud of the Year. So just to shed some light, I'm not too sure if you're aware, Elena, a feud in wrestling is the storyline or rivalry between people or parties or whatever, or teams.
I just want to congratulate you.
Why?
On Brian
Danielson. Hey, well, we'll get to that. But Elena, take it away. Please read out the feuds of the year.
So we have MJF and Darby Allin and Sting. We've got Jay White and CM Punk. The Elite and the New Wave, Brian Danielson and Jon Moxley. Paige Van Zandt and Tay Mello. Darby Allin and Sting. And finally, Christian Cage and the FTW World Title.
Yes.
What a mouthful.
Yep. So MJF, Darby Allin, Sting. That was one of our first big rivalries of the series, which was great fun. Jay White, CM Punk is a rivalry that started and we thought ended, but has recently picked back up with, what happened in the show. If you haven't seen that, make sure you check back and watch it. The Elite versus the New Wave was a history-making storyline with Mercedes Moné taking on Kenny Omega to win that kind of rivalry. Brian Danielson, Jon Moxley was another heated affair. Former partners, Danielson being exiled from the Combat Club, and then ultimately losing as well, seeking pastures new. Paige Van Zandt and Tay Mello was a really fun, albeit short rivalry, but I had a great time booking the two of those, especially with Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara's involvement. And then Darby Allin turning on Sting, which was a shock, culminating in Sting's retirement as well, which, madness. And then, we have to throw in Christian Cage and his weird obsession with the FTW World Title. He got one sniff at a belt and just wouldn't let go, and it wouldn't surprise me if he continues that chase sometime soon. So those are the nominees. Elena, would you like to drum roll again?
Of course.
And the winner for Feud of the Year is Jon Moxley and Brian Danielson.
Woo-hoo!
Now, this one was a hard one for me to pick, just because I think they've all been quite good. Yeah, but I do think that this one played out the best in terms of the back and forth, each of them kind of getting one-ups on each other, the inclusion of Zack Sabre Jr., who then turned on Brian Danielson to join Jon Moxley, and Jon Moxley renaming Blackpool Combat Club as the Combat Club, and just going from strength to strength. So yeah, very deserving in my opinion, but let me know if you think otherwise in the comment section. Okay, the next category is Signing of the Year.
There's some interesting names I need to read out right now.
Yep, I will correct you. Don't worry if any are wrong. I'm just going to let you go in blind. So there, as you know, over the course of this series, I've signed a lot of people. Not many of them have been successful on the main roster, and I'd say 99% of them are currently sat in Ring of Honor, but they're on the books and I'm paying them, so they're signed. These are the 7 that I feel are potentially the most impactful, especially at the time of recording. There are other signings that I think in long term could be more impactful, but I think these are the 7 that stood out to me. So Elena, take it away.
So we have Rami Sabai,
Yep.
aka El Generico.
Yeah, so he started as Rami and is now El Generico.
Mercedes Moné.
Yep.
Demi Bennett. Chris Bay. AJ Mendez. Zack Sabre Jr. Nigel McGuinness.
Thank you. Yeah, so Rami Sabai came in as his ginger bearded self, started to eat some losses, disappeared for a while, and then out of nowhere a superhero arrived in the form of El Generico. Mercedes Moné, as you know, is a member of the New Wave, but she's currently away filming, so don't worry, when she's back she will be utilised to the fullest. Demi Bennett, also known as Rhea Ripley, she came in and has just owned the women's division since her arrival. Chris Bay, kind of a quiet one, but I think over time he's just grown and become a really fun member of the roster, and I'm really excited to see what he does with Bullet Club Gold. AJ Mendez is just a star in general. Convincing her to come out of retirement and sign with AEW has been one of the best decisions I've made so far. Zack Sabre Jr. is just a technical wizard. He's so great in the ring, and he's got great banter, and someone that I'm looking to use a lot more in 2024. And then Nigel McGuinness, replacing Tony Khan as the face of AEW, working as his second-hand man, and being ever present in almost every show. So those are our 7 nominees for signing of the season. Not season, it's not football. Signing of the year. Drum roll, please. And the winner is Nigel McGuinness. Woo! Whoa, I bet you guys didn't see that coming.
Yo, Nige.
Yeah, it seems like a lackluster win because he's not a wrestler, but I think the inclusion of Nigel has helped the shows dramatically, mainly because Tony Khan's stats in game are not good. And Nigel's are. He can work the mic, he can improvise, he can act. And I think that's something you need for a face of the company, businessman style. So Nigel McGuinness, thoroughly deserved. A great signing.
More importantly, he looks thrilled to have won this award.
Of course he does.
Absolutely
Nigel.
thrilled.
And he's a fellow Englishman as well.
Nige.
So good old Nigel. But yeah, that is our signing of the year. On to the next category, which is Most Improved Wrestler. Elena, take it away.
We've got Daniel Garcia, Hook, Lance Archer, the Lucha Brothers.
Konosuke Takeshita.
Thank you.
You can do that one.
Hikaru Shida.
Yeah.
And finally, Hangman Adam Page.
So this is essentially the list of the wrestlers that I've fallen in love with the most throughout the year. Some of them were planned, some of them were not. Daniel Garcia, it's kind of obvious that I love Daniel Garcia. If it's not, then there's something wrong with you. He's just gone from strength to strength and become, as of recording today, he is listed as a major star in the company. I think he's our 6th or 7th most popular wrestler in the entire company. Hook is another one who's always touted for success and always known to be the next big thing. And I kind of disregarded him very early on in the series, but he's proved me wrong. He's come out of nowhere in recent months and become another star. Lance Archer as well, super underutilized at the beginning, and then I decided to randomly start using him, and I haven't looked back since. He's been great. Lucha Brothers as well, as a tag team, they are probably the most dominant team in wrestling right now in the entire game, and yeah, they've just come out of nowhere and they've just sat at the top and stayed at the top. Takeshita as well, he started off good, but now he's great. Honestly, he's someone that can be pushed up the card immediately, and his numbers are consistent. He's like 80 plus every match, no matter who he's against, and always kind of lifts that match too. Shida as well, kind of put a lot of pressure on Shida early on, because we had her turn on Jamie Hayter and kind of become the kind of face or the heel of the women's division. I mean, Britt Baker was the face of the women's division, but this was the in-ring face, putting on great matches and really carrying the prestige of the women's world title. And then finally, Hangman Adam Page, kind of a sleeper hit in a way that he was very quiet and didn't do much early on in the series. He was still having great matches, but I wasn't really taking note. And then suddenly, he's just getting better and better and better. And as we all know, earned the right to be the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, putting on 5-star matches back to back to back to back, and I imagine he'll continue doing so. So those are our 7 nominees. Drum roll, please. And the winner for Most Improved is Hook. Yeah.
What a shock.
Hook. So the reason I chose Hook, I was genuinely toying between Daniel Garcia and Hook, because I love Daniel Garcia, but the reason why Hook I think deserves this is because Daniel Garcia is someone that I genuinely worked on getting better. I had him featuring at Rampage every week to the point where he was being called Rampage Garcia, because he was winning back to back to back, because I wanted that momentum with him. I wanted him to get better skills. I wanted him to increase, and Hook is someone that I didn't put that time and effort into, and he still turned out to be a star. So I think in terms of, most improved on your own, you can't look any further than good old Hook. Yeah. Good old Hook. And he is our current FTW World Champion, defeating Will Ospreay. Whoa. But yeah, next category is biggest disappointment. So from the highest of highs with most improved to the lowest of lows. These wrestlers are people that you would imagine, would put in the numbers and put in the work and be, great for the show. But if anything, they just dragged ratings down. So Elena, take it away.
We have Jade Cargill, Adam Cole,
Baby,
Malachi Black, Saraya, FTR, Chris Jericho, and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Close.
I was like close.
Shinsuke.
Oh.
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, Shinsuke Nakamura. Jade Cargill is someone who has so much potential and so much star quality, but absolutely fuck all wrestling ability. And it upset me because I was putting her in squash matches. I was giving her the TV time, and she was just dragging everyone down with her. Even to this day, she is still dragging down ratings, and there's only so much you can do with Jade Cargill right now. But she has the star quality, so there's something in her, and she's got like 4 different mentors too. So I don't know what's happening. Adam Cole again. Adam Cole's a star. He's not my cup of tea, but he is a star, and this game does not reflect that at all. I've tried to push him. He started him off with matches against Moxley, Danielson, started off with the Blackpool Combat Club, but he was dragging down ratings, and still to this day dragging down ratings. Roderick Strong came in and was getting worse ratings than Cole, but now Roderick Strong is a reliable wrestler. He's getting 75 plus ratings. Adam Cole is still floating around the mid 60s. Exactly the same can be said with Malachi Black, someone who on paper in real life is a true star, but just can't get out of that kind of mid-table, like, mid-tier rating. Like, he's just sat in the middle of the card. He's had main event matches, but none of them have been like world beaters. And yeah, it's frustrating. Saraya too, it's Paige from WWE. You see Saraya, you see Paige, and you think, wow, she's a star, best in the women's division. No, she's not. Women's wrestling has evolved, and unfortunately Saraya hasn't. She's the same person she kind of was 4 or 5 years ago, but now she's got a tummy tattoo. Like, yeah. FTR as well. FTR are one of the best tag teams in the world. We know they are. And they are a former world tag team champion in this save, but since losing the belt, we've put them in matches with really good, talented tag teams, and they just haven't improved. They haven't got the ratings that you would expect from FTR. They're still a reliable tag team in general, but they're not world beaters. Prime example, Aussie Open have only been with us a couple of months, and they're already getting better numbers than FTR. So, there's that. Chris Jericho as well. Chris Jericho on the mic, he's golden. You can't touch him on the mic. But in ring, Chris Jericho is just poor. To the point where I spoke to him in game and was like, hey, thought about retirement? And he was adamant. He actually got annoyed with me that I asked him to retire because he's that bad. He's averaging 50 ratings, which, as we all know, is not good. And then finally, Shinsuke Nakamura brought him in for maybe too much money. Was thinking, oh, we've got Nakamura on the roster now. Going to push him to the stars. What a surprise that's going to be. What a debut. And he's just been crap. I've teamed him with La Faction, and he's the worst member of La Faction. And Dralistico's there, and he's still worse than Dralistico. So, rant over. Let's find out who the biggest disappointment is of 2023. Drum roll, please. And the winner, or should I say loser, is Adam Cole.
Baby.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel sorry for him.
Yeah, I feel bad as well because, I feel like I hate on Adam Cole too much. But I mean, in real life, at the time of recording, he's kind of feuding with MJF. Don't put Adam Cole against MJF. MJF is golden. And in this game, anytime I put Adam Cole with anyone, he just brings them down. And there have been times in the save where I've said, I'm going to send him to Ring of Honor. And if it continues, I'm giving him until February. If he doesn't get 270 plus ratings by February, he's out.
No pressure.
Yeah. Well, here's your award, Adam. And
you loser.
And get better. Your wife's putting better numbers in than you. And that's not a shade on women's wrestling. that's a shade on women's wrestling in this game because everyone's rated low. But yeah, biggest disappointments out of the way. Let's move on to the OMG moment of the year. Elena, take it away.
So we've got Sting's retirement, El Generico's debut, Nick Jackson turning on his brother, Jay White's Bullet Club Gold exit, Bandido defeats MJF, Baker and Shida turns on Jamie Hayter, and Mercedes Moné facing Kenny Omega.
Okay, so for this category, honestly, any of these could win. To be honest, maybe Sting's retirement isn't so OMG. I think it's the fact that he has retired now. Like, he can't compete anymore. And it was Darby Allin, his former best friend, that did it. That's the OMG part of that. Generico's debut is more of like a haha OMG because of the ridiculousness of it and the success of it as well. Nick Jackson turning on his brother is a very new thing that's happened, which is truly shocking and a real OMG moment. Jay White brought Bullet Club Gold to AEW, has led it for ever since this save has existed, has brought in so much talent to Bullet Club Gold, elevated everyone, even, convinced us that CM Punk was a true Bullet Club Gold member. And, the shock Bullet Club Gold celebration that happened a few weeks ago is still, ringing in all of our ears. Jay White no longer a member. That, to me, is a huge shock. Bandido defeating MJF. So this is a shock and an OMG moment because MJF was at the top of his game, undefeated, putting 90 rated matches on the board. And good old Bandido, Hangman Adam Page's amigo, says, if I beat you, my amigo gets a world title shot. And it is that win that got Adam Page the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And that, to me, is an OMG moment. Baker and Shida turning on Jamie Hayter. Yeah, I mean, they're a threesome that were so solid. And they were targeting the Outcasts. But who knew that Baker and Shida had the ulterior motive to also turn on Hayter? And that is still technically ongoing between Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. And then, of course, the history-making moment, Mercedes Moné showing up, being the one member of the New Wave to step up and face Kenny Omega. Not just face him, defeat Kenny Omega to win the best of 3 against the Elite. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so the OMG moment of the year goes to Jay White's exit of Bullet Club Gold. Don't laugh at the graphic.
Don't die like that.
Well, I imagine that's how it looked. It took me a long time to find a picture. It took me a very long time to find a picture of Jay White on the floor, and also Punk kind of, I don't know, it looks like he's waving. And this is how I kind of see it. White had the mic in his hand because he was shaking CM Punk's hand, of which they turned on him, and I imagine the mic was maybe still in his hand until CM Punk leant down, took the mic and said, change your management, bitch, and all of that. To me, this is a huge shock because this wasn't something I was planning on doing at all. I was planning on making Bullet Club Gold just a force of nature, holding as many belts as possible. And just last minute had this idea of, hold on, we've got CM Punk. CM Punk could lead Bullet Club Gold, turn Jay White face, and reignite this feud that I think didn't get the ratings it deserves. So this is my OMG moment of the year. But to be honest, half of them could have won. Nick turning on Matt, if that had happened maybe a month or two prior and there was a bit more story to it, 100% could have been the case. And Mercedes Moné facing Kenny was a very, very strong second. But yeah, let me know if I'm wrong in the comment section. I would love to see your guys' opinions on who wins all of these. But let's move on. We've got a few more left. I'm not going to talk too much about a couple of these, but we'll get to it. The next category is Team of the Year. Take it away, Elena.
We have the Aussie Open, the Combat Club, the Golden Lovers, Lucha Brothers, La Faction, High Five, and Bullet Club Gold.
So when I was making these nominations, Elena pointed out to me that I didn't include the New Wave. She was like, you always got to add the New Wave. Where's New Wave? The reason why the New Wave aren't included is because I feel like they were a real flash in the pan. They had a really hot streak for about a month or two, and we haven't really seen from them since, mostly because of Garcia's single success and Mercedes Moné going off filming. I don't think they've done enough to really warrant being here. The same could be said for High Five and Aussie Open, but I think that they've put in much more consistent performances than the New Wave did. But just running through them, Aussie Open, they've, since arriving, they've just been getting better and better week in, week out. They're definitely a future, like, top level team of this save. So, they deserve a mention here. The Combat Club, the Combat Club are the Combat Club. They've been ever present. They've been here since day one in one or two different forms, but they've always dominated and always been at the top of the card. The Golden Lovers, how can you not love the Golden Lovers? Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, two of the best wrestlers in the world coming together and finally getting that moment where they win the World Tag Team Champions and are our current World Tag Team Champions. But speaking of World Tag Team Champions, you've got the Lucha Brothers, who are the best tag team in the world right now, especially in the game. They put in top class performances, whoever they're facing, even in singles competition. Rey Fenix, Pentagon Jr. are just top class. La Faction get a nod because they always surprise me with their results, ignoring Shinsuke. This is mostly Andrade and Rush. They are massively underrated and should be utilised more, so they deserve a little nod. High Five as well. High Five are kind of a tongue-in-cheek inclusion. They won the belts with Konosuke Takeshita to become the Trios champions. It didn't last long, but they still did it. For that achievement alone, they're here. And then finally, we've got Bullet Club Gold. We've spoken enough about Bullet Club Gold already, but going from a tag team between Jay White and Juice Robinson, and then somehow adding Keith Lee to the mix, and then Chris Bay, and then CM Punk, and then bringing in AJ Mendez and Soraya, and then CM Punk bringing in Kenta. You've just formed like a very, very strong team that covers many different divisions, and you can't fault that. Obviously now it's a much smaller team because a few of those members have been kicked out, but you can't, knock the legacy that Bullet Club Gold have left behind and will continue to make. But to me, there's only one clear winner when it comes to Team of the Year. So Elena, please, drum roll. The winners of Team of the Year are the Lucha Brothers. Woo! They're just like money makers. Like, they can just put in a 5-star performance against anyone, and they've proven that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 too many times, and they're going to continue to do so because they're so good. Rey Fenix especially is a star, and Pentagon over the last few months is catching up and becoming just as important to AEW as Rey Fenix. But yeah, that is our Team of the Year. I think we've got 3 categories left, so let's move swiftly on to Show of the Year. Elena, take it away.
So we've got AEW All Out, AEW Full Gear, AEW Battle of the Belts 7, AEW Collision December Week 2, AEW Double or Nothing, AEW Winter is Coming, AEW Times versus Times meets.
The X is like, it's like a crossover.
NJPW Forbidden Door.
Yeah, New Japan Pro Wrestling, for those that don't know.
A lot of AEWs in there.
Well, yeah, because it's just the name of the events. So yeah, these are pretty much all of our events that we've held, plus a weekly show and a few specials. So AEW All Out was our series finale. It was like a monolith of a show, so much so that I had to cut down some matches because we literally hit the maximum time limit. I think it was nearly 5 hours, our show. But there were so many high stakes matches in there. It was just unreal. Full Gear was on paper our highest rated show and included our highest rated match, which was the Hangman Page and Pac main event. Battle of the Belts 7 was the MJF and Hangman Page rematch. So Page MJF 3, where MJF's final opportunity was obviously not taken because Page retained. AEW Collision December Week 2 is the event or the show that featured Jay White and the Golden Lovers defeating Lucha Brothers and Pac. There was another really good match on that card as well, but my mind is escaping me. We'll look at it in our end of year review within TEW anyway. Double or Nothing was our first pay-per-view. It's kind of got a bit of sentimental value to me because it's our first big event. And yeah, there were some fun matches in there. The whole Christian Cage thing made me laugh. Winter is Coming, our most recent special that just knocked it out of the park with the triple main event with the Golden Lovers and Lucha Brothers and Eddie Kingston taking on John Moxley, and then the final triple threat where Jay White was crowned our new World Heavyweight Champion. And then AEW New Japan Forbidden Door was just a spectacle in itself. So many dream matches put together. The scores might not have been what we would give it in real life, but it was still an event to remember. And I'm hoping next year will be just as strong. So Elena, whenever you're ready, drum roll please. And the winner of AEW Show of the Year is... It's a tie! Yeah, I couldn't pick. Full Gear was clearly our Show of the Year on paper. It had so many top class matches. It honestly can't be beaten by anyone else. But All Out, to me, was our best show in terms of story and the impact that it had on the series. We had the great Iron Man match, Sting's retirement, CM Punk losing and having to join Bullet Club Gold. We had the announcement of the brand split and the World Light Heavyweight Championship. And then, of course, the main event that was Adam Page and MJF. Had a mind fart then. But yeah, I think they're both deserving. Let me know what your guys' opinions are in the comment section. But I'm more than happy to give this a draw. Moving swiftly on, we head to our two big ones. I think these are the big ones. Our female and male wrestler of the year, starting with the female wrestler of the year. Go for it, Elena.
Hikaru Shida, AJ Mendez, Tay Mello, Paige Van Zandt, Demi Bennett, Maki Ito, Mercedes Moné.
Okay, so I'm not going to speak too much about some of these because we've already mentioned about Hikaru Shida in the most improved, AJ Mendez in the signing, the same with Demi Bennett and Mercedes Moné. Tay Mello, probably, you know, I mean, we know that some of these aren't going to win this category, let's be honest, but just wanted to fill it out. Tay Mello is someone who I don't use a lot, but every time I do use her, I go, oh, that's a decent number. So, you know, she's always impressing, and she is someone that I need to pay more attention of because in real life, she's great. Paige Van Zandt was a pet project of mine, just someone that wasn't even meant to be on the roster because I accidentally sacked someone. I can't remember who it was, but they were included in the roster, but I sacked them. So I brought Paige Van Zandt in just to fill the numbers, and she turned into this hot streak beast with Chris Jericho all the way through to her clash with Tay Mello at AEW All Out, which was super fun. So just for that run alone, she deserves a mention here. And Maki Ito, one of our newest signings, has just come in and been so fun and got some really good results, and is currently our AEW TBS champion. So she gets the nod just for, you know, what she's done with the time that she's had here. So the winner, Elena, please, of this category and our female wrestler of the year is Hikaru Shida. Oh, is that a surprise? I don't know. Hikaru Shida's been here since day one. She's the only one on that list that has been here since day one and also been a champion. And still to this day, she's putting in mad performances and is on paper and in the game one of the best wrestlers in the division and will continue to do so. And with the recent announcement of the AEW Women's Tournament to decide who will face AJ Mendez, Hikaru Shida has to be one of the favourites as she just continues to be dominant in every match that she's in. So, yeah, I couldn't look past her just for everything she's done from beginning to end and will continue to do. So congratulations, Hikaru Shida. And now, this is the final one. We move on to the male wrestler of the year. Elena, please read the nominations.
We have MJF, Jay White, Daniel Garcia, Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, Rey Fenix, and Hangman Adam Page.
Now, this was a tough one to keep at 7 because there was a few more that I could have easily thrown in here. For example, Pac narrowly missed out. He was someone that I wanted to include, but he's only really been top, you know, of the card for maybe a month or two, whereas all of these guys have kind of had a more significant impact throughout the series. MJF basically carried AEW on his shoulders for the first 6-7 months, all the way up until he lost the title to Hangman Page, in which we haven't seen him since. He's still moping around somewhere, but I'm hoping he'll be back soon. Jay White, again, he's grown. I mean, he's a megastar anyway, but he's grown into the AEW way, just winning non-stop, creating really amazing, memorable moments throughout his time. Some of them including dethroning Orange Cassidy, who had a 24 match title run streak, beating CM Punk, one of the best wrestlers in the world, and also currently being our double champion with many, many targets on his back. Daniel Garcia, had to include Rampage Garcia. He's just been a great project for me to work on and to continue working on, putting in some incredible matches and really repaying all the effort I've put into him early on. Also, the creation of the New Wave added another kind of level of character to Daniel Garcia, and you know, he's a star. He already is one, but he's going to continue being one. Bryan Danielson, you had to include Bryan Danielson. While he hasn't had the impact that he may have in real life, he just puts on top class match after top class match after top class match, and he's Mr. Reliable. He's a good guy again, which I love to see. Heel Bryan is great, but face Bryan is who we all want to support, and yeah, he's got a bright future ahead of him too. Jon Moxley, I think Jon Moxley is someone who's flown under the radar. He's so good, but he's one of those people, he doesn't fly around the ring, he doesn't have any dramatic moves, he just does the job so well. He cuts a promo so well. He's a great bad guy, and everything he's done in this series has been top class and consistent, and he just elevates whoever he's with. And the same can be said with Rey Fenix, someone who hasn't been at the top of the card. He's had chances, and the reason why we've given him them chances is because of the performances he puts in. He's a workhorse, and he is Mr. Consistent, always nailing a top class performance, no matter the opponent, no matter the situation. He just, you know, puts in the work and delivers every single time. And then finally, we've got Hangman Adam Page, someone again who was just non-existent at the beginning, someone who I would just throw in matches here and there because I'm like, I've got nothing for him. And then eventually the performances, you know, he made me take note, in which I had to push him. I had no other choice but to push him because the growth of this man was unreal. And I think at this current time, he is the most popular active wrestler in the world. I think he's got the same stats or slightly higher in popularity than Roman Reigns right now. So he's doing everything right, and he is currently my franchise player on paper. So yeah, here we go. Male Wrestler of the Year. Before the drum roll, Elena, who do you think is Male Wrestler of the Year?
I'm going to go Daniel Garcia.
Okay, interesting.
Probably not.
Well, if you start rolling that drum, we will find out. So, the AEW Male Wrestler of the Year for 2023 is Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF, one of Elena's favourite wrestlers.
Can't stand him.
So this might be a bit of a, what? Why have you given it to MJF moment? Because we haven't seen him for 2-3 months. Also, I did that picture because I envisioned people being annoyed. So, you know, deal with it. But you can't ignore everything MJF did at the beginning. He hits a 100 promo without fail every single time he grabs that mic. And in all honesty, he backs it up in the ring. Before the rise of Adam Page, which, you know, was orchestrated by myself, and the inclusion of MJF. MJF was the only guy putting in 90 performances week in, week out. He elevated AEW to the level it is now, and it wouldn't be where it is right now, and the prestige of the world title wouldn't be where it is if it wasn't for MJF. I miss him, and I want him back, and he will be back soon. And I'd love to just see what he does and where he fits in. And then this new, it just feels like a whole new AEW. And MJF is just going to have to find a place, and I'm sure he will. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. So that is our AEW awards. Well, my awards. We're going to transition into TEW now, where we're just going to look at who TEW have given the awards to. They've got some extra categories, things like Announcer of the Year, Referee of the Year, things like that. But we will take a look at those and see what the computer itself believes, and let's see if we've matched any up or lined any up. So thank you very much for this portion of the show, and also big thank you to my co-host Spanish Elena. Do you want to say anything else?
No. Nothing
at all?
Have a great year.
There we go. 2023 was great. 2024 is going to be better. Let's head straight back into TEW. Okay, we are back in TEW. We're in the jazzy little news screen, and as you can see in the top corner, it is week 1, January 2024. And I've got it on the bit down here just because I don't want to spoil any awards yet. But Jim Ross has left AEW. I didn't realise that I'd not bothered re-signing him, But as we know in the last couple of shows, he was putting in some poor commentary performances, because I've looked and his numbers have been decreasing. So I'm assuming it's something to do with his age. But he's gone, and we'll have a new commentary team or someone replacing him. I think. Have I done that? Yeah. I think what I've done is I've put Chris Jericho on commentary for one of the shows to replace him, because Chris Jericho's color commentary is 93. So of course I'm going to use that. But we're going off track. We're here for these. You can see them all here. These are the categories that TEW has given the answer. I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up, because I feel like, these are the big ones. And then we'll take a look at the Power 500 too, which is the top 500 wrestlers in the world, and just see where our people sit. We'll also just jump over to WWE as well, because we have overtaken them in the rankings, and just see how they're doing. Yeah. So let's start with Referee of the Year. It's Red Shoes. Oh, okay, Red Shoes. Okay, yeah. I mean, New Japan's very own Red Shoes. He's a legend. Like, let's be honest. The way that he kind of dives into a pin, love that. So yeah, very deserving. I don't think any of our referees have done anything special. I don't even know how you get this, but okay. The Color Commentator of the Year. Will any of our staff get these? No. So this is Kazuo Yamazaki, which I think is for New Japan as well. Yes. So New Japan Color Commentator of the Year. Announcer of the Year. Let me guess. It's going to be Shinpei. Yes, it was Shinpei. Sorry, I was reading the bottom looking for a name. But yeah, New Japan, of course. Are they going to sweep everything? Don't say they sweep everything. Manager of the Year. I mean, it should be Chris Jericho, let's be honest. It's not. It's Paul Heyman. Of course it is. Good old Roman Reigns' manager. And probably many other people. Can we see who he manages? We can't, can we? Personal info? Doesn't say managers or mentor. Or mentor of Maria Kanellis. Interesting. Oh. Okay, let's go back. Independent Wrestler of the Year. So I think this is just someone who wrestles for multiple companies. So I think, no, someone who wrestles for a company, I think that's small or lower. It's something like that. And it's Mayu Iwatani, the person that defeated Mercedes Moné for the IWGP Women's title on our show. Well done to Mayu. Let's just take a quick look at her. Well, she's on exclusive, so yeah, it's probably because of that. So she's still the IWGP Women's and the Wonder of Stardom champion. I mean, look at those numbers. As soon as that gets into the final month, how long's left? 9 months. We're in 8 months' time. I'm coming for you, Mayu, and I am signing you. 100%. What's her popularity? She's got decent pop as well, man. She will fit right in. So yeah, 8 months' time, Iwatani's going to be all elite. Female Wrestler of the Year. Iwatani again. She has got 2 trophies. Wow. It'd be interesting to see who the highest rated female wrestler of the year in AEW is. So we'll have to take a look at that in the Power 500. Veteran Wrestler of the Year. I think that's anyone 40 plus. And it's a Naruki Doi of DDT. Yes, I'm right. Naruki Doi, fair enough. He's a bit of a beast of a man. 43 and still going. Young Wrestler of the Year. I think that's under 25. It's Hook, our first win. Go on, Hook. Hook is a 2023 Young Wrestler of the Year. So we've got 1 award so far, and there's not many left. Let's just take a quick look at Hook, because what a man he is. He's a 62. He's considered a star now, so he's like one below a major star, and just top 25 matches. The 90 rated match, as we mentioned earlier, Garcia versus Hook. What a man. What a man. 24 years old. Love that. Okay, show of the year. It's got to be our Full Gear show, right? Yes, AEW Full Gear show of the year. Awesome. So that's another one for us. That was our, let's just look at it here, events. This one, the 93 rated show of Hangman and Pac, Britt Baker, Hater, Ultra Violence versus Combat Club. Imagine if that didn't bomb. Ospreay, Galloway, 85, Lucha Brothers, Golden Lovers, No Contest, Garcia, Hook, Mendes, Shida, the American Dragon and Generico versus Miriam Coughlin, Jay White, Carl Fletcher, and then a bunch of pre-show matches. What a card. Awesome. That makes me happy. So that's 2 that we've got. I hope we sweep the rest of these. We should. Match of the year is got to be Pac Page, right? Yeah, Hangman Adam Page defeating Pac is the match of the year, which we just saw. Let's jump to it again. Why not? Let's go back to Full Gear, and then can we double click on that? Yeah, no, that just double clicks on Pac. Oh, here we go. The 96 rated match in the Yankee Stadium. Yeah, a 94 and 85. Awesome match. Awesome match. Let's jump back. Team of the year. Let's see if it reflects who we voted for Team of the Year. And it does. The Lucha Brothers won Team of the Year. This is their second time winning it, apparently. And we were right. As we said, they are the best performing team in professional wrestling right now. And TEW agree with us. Now, Company of the Year. If it's not us, I'm ending the video. And you won't find out who Wrestler of the Year is. It has to be us. We have been putting on banger after banger. And we are now the #1 company in the world. Okay, good. It is us. Another win. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins. So we're now beating New Japan Pro Wrestling in the wins. Now the final one, the Wrestler of the Year. I've got no clue who this is. So let's find out. I'm assuming they're #1 on Power 500 as well. Last year, Roman Reigns won. WWE have had nothing. Actually, no, they've had Manager of the Year. Let's find out. Pac. Okay. For some reason, Pac is the Wrestler of the Year. Okay. He's the TNT Ultra X champion. Does he do matches in TNT? Yeah, he does, yeah. Pac and Dean Allmark. Is that his best match there? Yeah. Pac is the best wrestler in the world, according to TEW. Okay. I mean, forget Hangman Adam Page, MJF, CM Punk, Jay White, Kenny Omega, Daniel Garcia, etc. Pac, the guy that I put... Imagine if I didn't push him, who would have been Wrestler of the Year. Imagine if I just randomly was like, you know what? Lance Archer's going to face Hangman Adam Page instead, like, which was someone I considered. That would have been amazing. But now just quickly jumping to the Power 500. Pac, obviously, Wrestler of the Year. And Hangman Adam Page is second. Oh, and Ray Fenix is third. Penta is fourth. Kenny fifth. Kota sixth. Hold on. How far do we have to go before we see a non-AEW? Let's keep going. Still us. Drew Galloway. Still us. Swerve 23rd. Wow. I mean, FTR rated quite highly here. Miro, Prince Devitt. Okay, so Prince Devitt is the highest WWE guy at 27. And, you know, just to kind of break the fourth wall here and reveal a spoiler, because I'm in a good mood, let's just have a look at Prince Devitt. Oh, he's joining AEW. Yep. You know, so technically, he's not the highest non-AEW because we have actually signed him literally, I think, 2 days ago. He's currently their Universal Champion. We didn't even put in a big bid. I think it was something like 30 grand, and they just didn't want to match it. So he is joining AEW very soon. So let's see who the true highest non-AEW person is. Let's keep going. Punk, quite low, 37. Is this just our entire roster and then someone else? Evil Uno is up there. We're still going. No, this can't be right. Oh, wait, hold on. Is this filtered? The last time I checked, it's filtered from the last time we checked. Hold on. Let's see the true Power 500. My goodness. Here we go. Okay. All right, to be fair, it's not too different. Pac, Page, Fenix. Who's the highest? Roman Reigns. There we go, at 15. Reigns at 15. I was going to say, like, Jesus Christ, how did we not sweep everything? It makes more sense now. Okay, Will Ospreay. Takahashi's there. Kushida. Kushida's quite high. Wow. And 85. Who was that with? 85 against Takahashi. Cool. Barbaro Cabanera. Yep, he's a big boy over in Mexico. Kento Miyahara. Naruki Doi. Bray Wyatt. Where's Bray Wyatt? He's still in WWE. Okay. Kaito Kiyomiya. Yamato. Teton. Teton's great. Can we sign him? Oh, let me add him to my watch list because he's awesome. Aita, Hook, our boy Hook, Shingo, Ben K. Let's just get to the top 50. Seth just breaking the top 50. Yuki Yoshioka. He's someone that I wanted to sign, right? He's like 20. Oh no, he's not. No, that's not him. Oh, Caristico. Juice breaks the top 50 somehow. Well, it says placed 52nd in 2023, but that says 50. Nothing else is filtered, right? Stats wrestler. Oh, so there might be some retired people. Okay. And then we'll just do the 50 to 100 just for you guys to look. So I'll pause there. There's 50 to 85. And then just go down to the top 100. Omos, 100th. Someone who I sent to Ring of Honor. And you know what? He's been doing all right. He got an 80 here and 80 here. To be fair, that's probably because of Garcia, Rush, and Takeshita. And then because of Garcia again. But yeah, so that is the top 100. You guys can pause as you wish. Let's just quickly look at the women's. Iwatani, yeah, Julia. Kairi's our highest, although she did a lot of work in Stardom as well. Who's our true highest? Rhea Ripley. She's only been here recently, but we can claim that. Mercedes Moné. Yeah, she's been a lot everywhere else. Who's our true? You know, just signed for us, just worked for us. I mean, she's in our Ring of Honor right now. She hasn't done anything yet though. She's on AEW now, but Tokyo, Japan is where she mostly resides. Hikaru Shida. So Hikaru Shida's our top full-time AEW person. So I was right. Well, hey, awesome. Okay, I don't think there's much else. Let's just keep going. I'll do the top 100 just like we did with the guys. So let's do from Shida down. I'll pause for a sec, let you guys look. You can also pause the video, and then we'll go back up here from, I think it was around, oh, that's the end. Only 85 women featured in the top 500, but that is everyone. Decent number of AEW talent here too. Cool. So let's reset, and I think we're just going to end the screen on Pac, the best wrestler in the world according to TEW, but the true winner is MJF. Thank you very much for watching this one, guys. Please let me know down below who you would have picked as the winner for our categories. I'll put all the categories in the description below. I'll timestamp it all as well, just so you guys can, you know, jump between and have a look at the nominations. But yeah, that's it for this one. Next episode, we're back to the usual grind, our first shows of 2024 and the beginning of our AEW women's tournament. I look forward to that, and I look forward to what 2024 has in store for us. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, do it all, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.